Hello, everyone. It is Pat with our Oracle card reading and message for this upcoming week. I'm a little late getting out to it today. It's the 22nd of May, so this will take us through the 29th of May, which, wow, it's hard to believe we're already at the end of May. Wow, where did May go? Anyways, as usual for this week, I'm going to be calling on the Archangel Oracle cards. And when I meditated and asked, I heard to go to a different deck this week. And I'm looking for the cover of it. Here we go, the Indigo deck. I was told to use that, and I also reached out to a deck I haven't used in a long time because I wanted to kind of tune into some earth changes. And so I went to the Earth Magic because there's a lot going on in the earth, and I've been very watching a lot on a day-to-day basis what's going on in Hawaii. But I know there are a lot of big earth changes going on all over the world. India, Pakistan, all sorts of places all over the world are experiencing dramatic earth events. So I've gone ahead and picked our cards for this week. All right, and we'll go through some of those. So the archangels that are overseeing us this week, and I got three of them. I picked out three of them as opposed to our usual just one. I just felt drawn to do that. So I kind of go with that. But we first have Haniel with this message of moon cycles. Now, Haniel is an archangel that is very much connected to the moon and its cycles. Right now, we're kind of in between. We're past the full moon. I'm sorry, past the new moon, but the full moon is next week on the 29th. So we are coming into that full moon time. But I think what her message here for us is that she's bringing our awareness to the fact that celestial events, there's other like planets going into retrograde, there's solar activity that's affecting what's going on with Earth's events right now. And she's calling our awareness to the fact that these cycles, these celestial events, are making us very sensitive. Okay. Haniel in this deck also is the angel featured on the sensitivity card. And so I do feel like that is a part of it, what's going on. A lot of us are feeling very sensitive right now. If you are an intuitive, empathic person, you're probably sensing it a lot more acutely. With, just you can sense the underlying restlessness. And there's an intensity around, and the energy's just been funky. So anyways, she's calling our awareness to that. If you are feeling sensitive, if you're feeling like you want to cry, if you're feeling very moody, or there's a lot of different emotions coming up, there's a lot of sensitivity, and it's related to the celestial events that are going on, as well as what's going on in the world. Okay. But especially as we come up on the full moon and it changes the tides, and the full moon brings up a lot of, it just brings up stuff for people. So anyways, she's calling your attention to that, but it's also a time where you can harness those energies. And that's what Haniel helps us with so much, is the full moon is very much a time for releasing. So it's a good time to journal and be willing to look at things that you're willing to let go of in your life. Okay. The other archangel card that came out was this one, Archangel Azrael, with this hello from heaven. So, with our sensitivity that we have this week, it's almost going to feel like the veil is very thin, and we're going to be getting, signs or feeling our loved ones around very closely. For some of you out there, it has to do with, I feel like a mother who either passed this month, maybe there was a significant birthday of someone that you love, but it does very much feel like there's a mother in spirit that's saying hello, a mother who's passed. Okay. And Azrael is the angel who helps us to grieve. But when this card comes up, it's about, they're just saying hello. They're just making their presence known to you and letting you know that they're okay. All right. But you may be feeling that this week as well. And with this other archangel we have here is Jeremiah with this message of all is well. Okay. And it says, everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, with hidden blessings that you will soon understand. And what I take it to mean is that there's divine timing is in place. Okay. Things are shifting and changing a lot right now. But what this card's meaning has to do with is the fact that the old is being, broken down. They're clearing away the old that doesn't serve us anymore. And the new is coming in. So he's letting you know that even though situations sometimes are, seem troubling in the world, and even in the political landscape or what have you, as well as in your personal life, it might be bringing changes and upheavals for you too, because things need to change. There's new things that need to come in. So that's what he's letting you know. Everything's going to be fine. At a higher level, everything, all is well. Okay. So it's a reassurance card, which is nice. So going into these indigo cards that I wanted to pull. Now the indigos and the indigo energy has to do with very strong-willed, intuitive leaders. Okay. People who were born in we call them the indigo children for a while, but they're not really children anymore. They're adults, and they're contributing to the forward movement of society in the sense that they're strong-willed, they're intuitive leaders, they have really strong innate spiritual skills, and can clearly see and recognize the truth. And they're part of what's been contributing, I think, to the whistleblowing that goes on. They're bringing things to light that have been going on in darkness. Okay, so a lot of that's been happening and will continue to happen. Okay, so I just felt I was literally drawn to use these cards today. So the beginning of the week, and this goes in line with what I was saying with regard to Haniel, is we're going to need to do a little bit of shielding, because the beginning of the week may feel a little bit rough, in terms of feeling like we're just feeling acute and sensitive, and everything's irritating us, and there may be some harsh environments that you're in. So as a sensitive, intuitive person, you might be feeling that very acutely. You might be feeling a lot of emotional stuff coming up. And it's making it difficult for you to be in some environments. So shield yourself, just like this angel in this card is doing. You can energetically shield yourself in certain situations, and it just creates a bit of a buffer, okay? And protection for you as you go into the situations. So middle of the week we got this card Manifest, okay? So your focus is on creating new things in your life, creating what you want in your life, what you want to be surrounded with, okay? It's focusing your energy on your creativity is kind of a channel. Because when we're really sensitive, sometimes, if you're bothered by things that are going on in your life or in the world, people channel it into something creative, okay? Maybe writing a song, or, they focus on creating new situations in their life. But there's a lot of focus in the middle of that time on creation. The end of the week, we have patience. And I suspect this is because I know here in the United States, we have our big Memorial Day weekend coming up. All right. So it's going to require patience on our part, because this is like the weekend that's the opening season of the whole summer. Maybe different in some different parts of the world, especially in the Southern Hemisphere, where they're going into their winter. But here where we are, it's the big opening weekend. So there's going to be a lot more people out. There's going to be a lot more traffic. It's going to be crowds everywhere. So it's going to require a lot of patience on our part. Okay. And for those who are sensitive, intuitive, who have that indigo type energy, that sees the truth of things, sometimes we can see the entirety of something, of how it's going to work out, how it's going to play out. But we don't see it, even though we can see the end result or how it's going to play out. It hasn't quite gotten there yet. The world and its people and how they're doing things and the speed of it hasn't caught up with what we see happening. So it's a reminder to have patience. You're going to have patience with regard to that. You are seeing the truth ultimately. It's just that you're seeing it at a different speed than what the world is catching up with it. That makes sense. Anyways, so I do want to move over to what's going on with the earth energies. I personally have been particularly focused on what's going on in Hawaii, with the lava and the fissures and the explosions and things like that. So I wanted to to pull from that deck to see what was going on with it. So the first card that we got is this one, New Beginnings. And the two hits that I get about this when I ask for clarity is that, at least for Hawaii, which what I was thinking of, a lot of the stuff is going to be happening at dawn. You know, either new fissures or explosions that may take place are going to be happening at dawn. I also get about, it has to do with the fact that for a lot of people, it's going to mean starting over. As some of you know, a lot of people's homes got burned up because of that lava. And it's going to mean, because the card says new beginnings. Okay. So a lot of people are going to be having to look at the fact that they're going to have to start over. It's a new beginning for them. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Yes, it's sad at this time to lose a home that you loved, and that wherever you are in the world. But a lot of things are going to be happening in the dawn hours, and it does mean that it's a new beginning. A lot of people are going to be having to start over. The other thing is the clouds. And the reason I feel this card has to come up is because it has to do with the clouds of volcanic ash that are coming up, not just in Hawaii, but in other areas. Okay, and it's going to be presenting an ongoing issue because the ash and the gases that are in these clouds are toxic to people. Okay, so and even though they might be over an area like Hawaii right now, the wind is blowing them. And they are going to reach other areas. Okay, so people are going to have to be. There's going to be a big focus on this. And if we look at, the beginning, if we think of these cards as a timeline, this being in the beginning from today, the next couple of days, there's going to be a lot of attention with the clouds and watching them in the ash. And finally, the other card that came out was this one, Sanctuary. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to need to find sanctuary. People are going to have to go to, areas that have been designated as evacuation areas. Okay, so people are going to need sanctuary as these events unfold. Okay, to get away from the gas and the clouds and the ash. So, and unfortunately, I mean, this shows a cave. It's going to feel kind of like a cave to them because it's not their home. It's a shelter. It's a different area. They've kind of had to grab their bags and go. So, it's not the most ideal place for them, but it's the nature of things that are changing right now. And ultimately, as Jeremiah said, ultimately, yes, things will be fine, but there's going to be a new normal that's going to be coming into place. So, anyways, those are the messages I get around what's going on for us this week. So I hope you have a lovely week. Remember to shield and protect yourself. Work with Archangel Michael too. And I wish you much peace and many blessings. Please leave any comments below and let me know how you felt this resonated with you. And I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Take care, everyone.